XO Manowar 1992, first series, total of 68 issues. This is issue 0. Nothing significant or major, it's a story about the origin of Eric, the person inside the XO suit. Eric is a Visigoth who grew up with a father and a mother. His father is a blacksmith who shows Eric the sword he forged for his brother Alaric, a warrior. His father wants to be independent in terms of their weaponry away from the Romans, which many Visigoths respected because prior to that, the Visigoths relied on stolen Roman weaponry. Eric was to be his protege, to carry on his legacy as a blacksmith. When all of a sudden, they hear a cry, the voice of their mother screaming for help. His father rushes out of his hut, racing to aid his wife. Outside, the village can be seen being ransacked by Roman soldiers. His father instructs Eric to stay close to him, knowing that the safest place for his son is to be by his side, where he can see him and protect him. Eric's father, fully angered by the sight that he sees before him, he yells a warning for the Romans to leave his wife alone. They don't listen. Rolf! Inga screams his husband's name, begging for his help. His father, Rolf, picks up a sword, killing a Roman soldier. The second soldier is now on guard, and before Rolf could kill him, the soldier ends his life. Eric sees this, horrified by the bloodshed a kid his age shouldn't have to see. But instead of cowering in fear, Eric picks up the fallen sword his father had, and Eric fights back against the bully, killing him. This was a turning point for Eric, where he vows to kill each and every single Roman there ever existed. Eric, just a few moments ago, was destined for becoming a blacksmith's apprentice. Now, he's become a soldier, a man of war. Years pass and we see Eric fighting under the command of his uncle Alaric, raiding a village in northern Italy for supplies. Eric enjoys the fight. Driven with revenge, he slays the centurion guard with ease. Eric, the once scrawny boy, is now a strong man, fighting for his freedom. His uncle Alaric reminds Eric that the conquest was a strategic one. Take that what they need and burn the rest. Eric agrees, but will still kill any Roman that crosses his path. The Romans, after all, never showed his family any mercy, so why should he? Eric and his sidekick come across a Roman temple which they decide they would raid for gold. Inside the temple, we see a scuttle between Captain Mercius, his priest, and a pagan slave. The priest tells Mercius that he must kill the pagan slave so the gods would forgive them, so the Visigoth curse would end. Mercius believes this to be true, for the knowledge came from a priest, and to him, it's as real as a dagger in his hand. Mercius grabs the pagan slave by her hair and points his dagger to her throat, but before he can kill her, Eric runs the sword straight through Mercius' chest and he dies instantly. The priest is also dead. Eric and his sidekick Gafty looked around for gold to plunder. Gafty was disappointed because the place was desolate of any riches, but Eric sees something far more valuable than gold. He sees the slave girl and takes her as his prize. Later that evening, Eric celebrates his victory over the Romans with his new prize. And guess what happened? Months later, Eric and his groups were patrolling the area for any Roman guards. They come across a strange and alluring light, with monstrous creatures consuming Visigoth people. His people. Eric's people. Eric, fueled with revenge, hatred, and anger, charges towards the creatures, slashing one across the belly, splitting it in half. The creatures were impressed with Eric's courage and captures him by knocking him unconscious and dragging him to their spaceship. Eric, now in a spaceship, wakes up after 7 years had gone by. He is held against their walls with a murky substance similar to that of a spider's web. He has been selected by one of the creatures to work as a laborer in one of their camps. Eric spits and insults the creature in defiance and disgust upon approaching him, to which he's met with an equivalent insult. The creature vomits a liquid into his mouth as a form of tranquilizer, inhibiting him from resisting. Eric is slaving away at a refueling camp for the creatures before heading back to Earth. There, Eric meets a scrawny old malnourished man named Mapgiver, who surprisingly speaks Eric's language. Mapgiver explains he learned Eric's language in the slave pens after being around them for so long. He also convinces Eric to be a part of his escape plan. Mapgiver memorized the ship's layout after serving the creatures for years, and he has found the path to the creature's ultimate weapon. Unfortunately, the only way for Eric to be given the map is by tearing through the palm of his flesh using a sharp bone nearby. Mapgiver begins carving the path on Eric's palm before being selected as food for the creature's leader. Mapgiver reminds Eric to pull the ring when he sees it. Outside the spaceship, just past the Earth's atmosphere, an eruption occurs by none other than Solar, who is another character in the Valiant universe. Eric uses this distraction as a chance to escape. He makes his way to the path Mapgiver drew on his palm. Eric finds the ring and pulls it, creating a chain reaction of the environment around it. Eric is suddenly encased in what appears to be metal alloys, remembering Mapgiver's words that this quote-unquote skin will protect him from blasts. Eric wishes to be free, to go outside the walls, and the skin takes him outside, as if it can read his mind, his will, that his desire to go back to his home with the Visigoths, and that is what the skin does for him. It drags him back to Earth.